Hello and welcome to Citi Sports Roundup with me, Benjamin Nketia. Coming up, Sports Ministry aiming to set up anti-doping agency in Ghana ahead of 2023 Africa Games. Also, Alexander Seferin reappointed UEFA president until 2027. And Ghana Swimming Association hosts President's Cup later this month. Let's get to the details of our stories now. Now, President Nana Akufo-Addo says government is committed to ensuring that there's enough sporting facilities in the country to unearth more talent. He made these remarks at the sword cutting of the new AstroTurf facility in Alajo. The facility is one of over 125 AstroTurfs built by government across the country to promote and develop grassroots and community sports. The facility lobbied for by the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso Central, the Honorable Henry Korte, was constructed by the Infrastructure for the Poverty Eradication Program under the Coastal Development Authority.
Commissioned the Alajo AstroTurf facility project, whose sword I cut Saturday, 4th January 2020, when I came here to witness the installment of one of my most senior security personnel, Mohammed, now known as Ni Ahmad Adjo II. The facility, not before by the dynamic number of partners for there are several footballing talents and genius in our nation, such as Anas Saidi, Mohamed Kuche, Abedi Pele, Hussein Kufor, Yapreko, and Mohamed Kudus. We want to see more and more Abedi Pele's, Hussein Kufor's, and Mohamed Kudus being discovered.
Now, Ghana's Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf has revealed that there is a possibility of setting up an anti-doping agency in Ghana ahead of the country's hosting of the 13th edition of the All-African Games slated for March next year. He made these comments when President of the World Anti-Doping Agency, Witold Banka, paid a courtesy call on him to discuss Ghana's preparations for the Games and WADA's role in facilitating a successful hosting of the Games. According to the Sports Minister, it is imperative to ensure that athletes practice clean sports in the upcoming events.
So there have been major activities in Ghana already, but especially when African Games, most of the sporting discipline that is going to be competed for is going to be the platform or the qualification to Paris. So once this has been agreed as the Games becomes qualification to the Olympic Games, you can't afford not to follow the international rules of anti-doping, especially in Africa. We have only 3 foundation board members on the board, and I happen to be one. And once I'm here, I should ensure that the rules governing the WADA is enforced. And like the draft legislation is ready, of which we are working to go to send it to cabinet. And once we get to cabinet, we'll be looking at making sure that once cabinet approve, it will come to parliament, for parliament to pass it to become law. If it becomes an act of parliament, then the agency is established. But we will need your support throughout this journey.
Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association, Samuel Enim Addo, has reiterated that the FA has no control over the $1 million budgeted by Ghana Premier League headline sponsors Bet Power for marketing and promotion of the league. In the wake of poor attendances at various match centers in the Ghana Premier League, the GFA have been blamed for their lack of efforts in marketing the league. Now, speaking to Citi TV in an exclusive interview, Samuel Enim Addo clarified the status of the money which has been earmarked for marketing and promotion.
That people are saying that the FA should use some 1 million. The 1 million is not with the FA. Unfortunately, the money is with the sponsors. They said they are using it their way. It's part of their package. It is not with the FA. Yeah, the money is not with the FA. Okay. The money is with the sponsors. The FA uses our social media handles regularly. You bear witness to it that we've done well with our communication when it comes to video materials and a lot of production highlights. We've done very well with that. Our team there, kudos to them, Henry, Osei, and the rest of them, Bossman, and the young ladies, the new ones, Matilda, and the other ones. They are doing so well. They promote it with everything that you see, but the one from the clubs, that is the main beneficiaries. It is their duty. It is not the FA's duty.
You are watching Citi Sports Roundup on Citi TV with me, Benjamin Nketia. When we return, we'll bring you some more stories. Welcome back. This is Citi Sports Roundup on Citi TV. My name is Benjamin Nketia. Let's do some more stories now. Accra Greater Olympics legend Gordon Atram has come to the defense of under-pressure head coach Bismarck Kobe-Mensah following a stale start to his tenure as gaffer. The former Kerala United head coach has guided Olympics to just 2 wins in the last 7 games in the ongoing Bet Power Premier League. With just 9 games to the end of the season, Atram advised management of the club not to get rid of the Black Galaxy's assistant coach, but rather back him in these turbulent times.
We all know that we want to win matches. Club must win matches and all those things. But what about development? Because when Yah was here, he built up the team. Olympics started very well from the beginning. In the first round, 22 points is a credit. 22 points the first round is a credit. Second one started, things were not going very well, but this is where sometimes you need a support from the management. They sometimes have to look at what they did before and what is the development of the main team. It's good that you have to have results, but where are you going to? And now another coach also came, a young coach, and facing the same problem. The team is not winning. So will you change that coach also, or you give him more room to operate and do the right thing for the club? So for me, sometimes I only want to advise the administration wise in football, the management, the big men. Sometimes you have to know it's not only about the coach, but it's also about the structures, what you are put on board, and how you also manage the entire affairs of the club.
Assistant coach for Brecum Chelsea, Samuel Ofori-Owusu, says they are confident of denting Kotoko's title aspirations this season as the two sides clash at the Golden City Park on April 15. The Porcupine Warriors have recorded positive results under interim gaffer Abdoulaye Ghazali following the sacking of former Burkinabe trainer Seydou Zebo.
Well, I think they played last week, and then this is the second match for the coach, right? I don't know much about him, but what I know is for him coming to our backyard, we also make sure we capitalize on that, and then we take our maximum 3 points. That's the most important. Like what Olympics they've done to us today. Yeah, we're also going to give to Kotoko. They should expect nothing but lose.
Chief Executive Officer for Faith Ladies, Ebenezer Alote, admits this season's Malta Guinness Women's Premier League has been tough for his side, despite being just 4 points off leaders Hazakes Ladies. Faith Ladies began the season in stellar fashion by clinching the maiden edition of the 2022 Women's Super Cup held in Tamale. Speaking to Citi Sports in an exclusive interview, Ebenezer Alote lauded his side's display this season, despite being unable to finish at the top of the Southern Zone with just 3 matches left.
It has been a very tough one. I think for some reason, if you could quite remember what happened last season, even by the middle of the season or by the end of the first round, you could clearly tell who was going to be crowned the winner of the various zones. But this season in particular, the league leaders who are Zakes, they have suffered about 2 or 3 defeats. And so this season really has been tough. You find teams that are struggling on the table, beating teams that are way up on the league table, and vice versa. And so you couldn't clearly predict the ending of the season. Even with about 3 matches to go, it is still a struggle because the league leaders are only leading by 4 points, and you need just a single match to turn the whole league or the whole table around. And so my thought on this season, it's been a tough one. It's been a good competition. A lot more needs to be done. But I mean, going forward, I feel that the Women's Premier League has come to stay, and it's really proving to everybody that it is a product of the FA that everybody needs to be watching. And so it has not been easy for us, I will tell you that, but it has been very interesting.
Now, FIFA has withdrawn Peru's hosting rights to the 2023 FIFA Under-17 World Cup following extensive discussions between FIFA and the Peruvian Football Federation. Now, the tournament is scheduled to take place from 10th November to the 2nd of December 2023, but the Bureau of the FIFA Council will now designate a new host in due course. The move was made given the inability of the host country to fulfill its commitments to completing the infrastructure required to stage the tournament. Despite a very positive working relationship between FIFA and the FPF, it has been determined that there is now not enough time to secure the required investment and complete the necessary work with the Peruvian government ahead of the start of the tournament date. Now, Alexander Ceferin has been re-elected unopposed as UEFA president for a new 4-year term. Ceferin, who has been president of the European football's governing body since 2016 when he took over for Michel Platini, confirmed his intention in October to stand for a third term. The 55-year-old Slovenian was first re-elected in February 2019 and was given the green light to continue until 2027 after a vote at the latest UEFA Congress in Lisbon. Ceferin has been vocal during his tenure in opposition to the failed Super League project that was proposed by 12 of Europe's top clubs, all of whom withdrew, apart from Barcelona, Real Madrid and Juventus. He described the clubs as stabbing himself and UEFA as they attempted to form a breakaway continental tournament. Now, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp is unsure if his side has the capabilities to qualify for next season's Champions League following a goalless draw with Chelsea on Tuesday evening at Stamford Bridge. The result means Liverpool continue their poor form away from home, which has seen them win just once in their last 8 games. Klopp admits the race for top 4 is no longer in their hands as they prepare for another big game on Sunday against league leaders Arsenal.
I don't know if there's any change. For that, we must win pretty much all the games, and the other teams above us must lose a lot of games. So that's not in our hands. I cannot say. What can I say about that? But it's not important. If we would be only motivated on the highest level, if somebody tells us, oh, you have a chance for top 4, then if we are not 4th, then we will be. Then I want to be 5th. If we are not 5th, then we want to be 6th. So that's what I want to be. And for that, we have to win football games because at the moment I don't even know where we are exactly. 8, 7, 9. I don't know. It's not interesting. We have another. 10 games to play, and the next one is Arsenal. Not the other 9 I'm not interested in, but the next one is Arsenal. So if we are difficult to beat against Arsenal, we can win this game. If not, Arsenal will just go over us. So, and then we will see with 1 point, the steps, how I said, are not massive. If we win a football game, all of a sudden 3 points for 1 game, wow. And things can look different. But from the moment, it's not about, we have no lack of goals or lack of where we want to end up. We know exactly we want to be as successful as possible. But that means for each weekend or for each midweek game, like today, we want to win it. I saw that tonight. And with that, I'm fine.
This is the Citi Sports Roundup on Citi TV with me, Benjamin Nketiah. We'll take a break here. When we return, we'll bring you some more foreign stories. Thank you for staying with us on the Citi Sports Roundup. My name is Benjamin Nketiah. Let's get into some more foreign stories now. Now, Aston Villa are in contention for a spot in the top 6 of the English Premier League following their win over Leicester City on Tuesday. That's according to their manager, Unai Emery. A 5th win from 6 games gives Villa a real chance of qualifying for Europe as Emery continues to surpass expectations since taking over from Steven Gerrard a few months ago. With just a few games left to end the season, Emery expects the battle for a place in Europe to be very difficult, but says his side will fight to secure a spot.
And the next, try to be in good balance, now winning. But of course, we are progressing the table, and we are now in the top 10. Clear, but with competing with very big teams, and of course it's going to be very, very difficult to keep this position. But as well, we are now with the possibility to fight if we can keep being competitive like we are now and being consistent like we are now, and of course being very demanding ourselves again. In everyday training, everyday practicing, every day as well when we are preparing the matches to try to get the teams that are now in the European position.
And the team are finding different ways to win different games, and tonight you had to do it when they went down to 10 men.
Yes, it was very, very different the match today than the match we played against Chelsea, and we have to adapt. And of course, both very difficult match, but different. And I think our adaptation was perfect against Chelsea. Our adaptation today was perfect against Leicester as well. When they were with one player less, we tried to compete the same and not use different ways to win, trying to respect that firstly, and then trying as well to get our moment with chances to score and be clinical like we did.
Nottingham Forest boss Steve Cooper insists he was not worried for his future after a 2-1 defeat at least extended his side's winless run to 8 matches. Forest slumped to a 4th straight league defeat on the road and sits above the bottom 3 on goal difference alone after letting slip the lead against their relegation rivals at Elland Road. Orel Mangala's first goal for Forest gave them an early lead, but Leeds hit back with first-half strikes from Jack Harrison and Luis Sinisterra to deservedly clinch a crucial win that moved them up to 13th in the table, 4 places and 2 points above Forest.
And I'll never hide away from it, but the reality is I just do not think of myself. You know, any negative emotion or poor emotion I'm feeling at the moment is that this you know, that Nottingham Forest didn't win a game that they could have. You know, there was different questions before the international break, and that meant nothing to me as well. You know, I just you know, I've trained myself pretty well to just focus on doing the best that you can, believing in your work, and sticking to what you believe in, and any outside noise really isn't that important. I do not think of myself. What I only think of the football club and the greater good, because you know, that is always the most important thing, especially this football club. So I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff that have been written. I know that, as you know, some things have been mentioned to me, but I don't look at it, and it certainly doesn't bother me. What bothers me is trying to do better than what we did tonight in terms of performance and results. That's the only thing at the forefront of my mind.
Starting at Aston Villa, another away game to come and a few days to get ready for it.
Yeah, and that's it, you know, and again we'll have all the questions again about away form, and rightly so. It's ours to be criticised, and we cannot, anything that's said about our away form, we cannot do anything about it being said, but we've still got to try and sort it out. And tonight it feels like it was a missed opportunity, but we only got ourselves to blame.
Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest have backed Steve Cooper to end speculation surrounding his future. Now, in the club statement, owner Evangelos Marinakis said, and I quote, "No one denies that our club is in a difficult position in the Premier League, but we wish to end the speculation and the false and disruptive reporting in the media to confirm that Steve Cooper remains our manager at Nottingham Forest," end quote. Now, Fulham striker Alexander Mitrovic may not play again this season, with the Football Association planning to appeal against his 8-match ban for shoving and abusing referee Chris Kavanagh. Mitrovic was handed the punishment on Tuesday by an independent commission, which also fined the forward £75,000 for his behaviour during Fulham's FA Cup defeat at Manchester United last month. Fulham's manager Marco Silva, who was also sent off by Kavanagh during an extraordinary spell of 3 red cards in 40 seconds, received a 2-game touchline ban and fines totaling £40,000. The FA, however, considers both sanctions too lenient and has confirmed it intends to appeal. Former two-time bantamweight world champion Joseph Agbeko has pointed to a number of reasons behind Ghanaian boxers' failure on the international stage in recent years. Agbeko's comments come on the back of 3 consecutive losses for Ghanaian boxers this year. George Ashi, Richard Kome, and Isaac Dogbe lost bouts to Alexis Rocha, Jose Ramirez, and Robese Ramirez, respectively, prompting concerns over the state of the sport.
Some of the boys don't get the right kind of management team that they can properly manage them for them to sleep, wake up and train, sleep, wake up and train. Some of them doesn't get managers like that. So some of them, they have to go, do some work, get some money for themselves, go back to the gym. Some of them, the managers are not giving them enough for them to be able to feel comfortable, to be able to prepare for fight. And some of them, too, they get fight for short notice. Others, too, when they are in Ghana and they get opportunity and it's a short notice because they are not making money. So they have to go and fight. And I would say those are some of the reasons why some of the Ghanaian boxers are losing their fight.
And finally, let's end with some swimming because President of the Ghana Swimming Association, Delphine Akwe, has been speaking about activities lined up for the association this year. The events lined up for this year include the inaugural edition of the President's Cup, which will take place later this month. The competition, which is the initiative of President Akufo-Addo, is aimed at helping promote the sport in Ghana.
This year, what happened is that we have so many activities ongoing. We have the swim league, which is almost coming to an end. The first season coming to an end, I think, in June. We also have the club meets that has also been ongoing side by side the swim league. Now, for the end of this month, we'll be hosting the first President's Cup, which is the President's initiative just to promote swimming in the country. And also not only for the swimmers, but also for others to know what we are doing, what swimming is about, and to invite them in to join. The President's Cup is open to clubs that are registered with the GSA. We want to encourage them to do better, to bring in more swimmers, to train more swimmers, and for kids to know that, listen, this is not just a sport, but it's also a game that helps the body, that keeps you active and keeps you going. I mean, it can take you to so many places competitively and even as an ordinary sport. So the President's Cup is going to be hosted for clubs affiliated with us, and it's not going to be for all. It will be for all age categories, but also we are looking at the best in our swim fraternity. We want to award those who have really excelled, those who have trained with us for so many years and who are looking forward to go international. I mean, we want to see what they can do now, so that from there we can select some of these kids to the national team, train them for international competitions.
That's all for today's edition of Citi Sports Roundup here on Citi TV. For more sports, do log on to citisportsonline.com. My name is Benjamin Nketia, and many thanks for watching.